Hello and welcome to the sportsbet.io Euro podcast. This is this week's Bundesliga episode, but don't forget to take a look at the Clubhouse TV YouTube at the Serie A, at the La Liga every week as well. And don't forget there's some brilliant action from the NFL and plenty of videos for you to keep an eye on. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment and just tell everyone about the excellent episodes we've got for you as well. We're joined as always for this Bundesliga episode by our friend Taufik Khalil in Germany. Taufik, we're going to start with what is, I think, a really interesting game between Eintracht Frankfurt, if I can say that, and Augsburg. Because Eintracht Frankfurt are absolutely flying, second in the Bundesliga, and deservingly second as well.
Absolutely. Omar Mamouche is the Egyptian answer to Harry Kane in the Bundesliga. He is he's doing really, he's our Mo Salah. He's doing very well. Yeah. As far as I learned about Mo Salah, he's a very smart guy. Yeah. He's not loud and things like that. And this is the same with Omar Mamouche. I don't know if it's natural for a player from Egypt, but he's not that loud guy. He's not like a Neymar or this guys. No, he's doing his job. He's very friendly to the fans. He's very grounded, feet very on the ground, and he's delivering. Just delivering. The whole team is delivering, and well, the only team, the last team in the Bundesliga, which put a little pressure on Bayern Munich, and this is good for the league.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, 12 and 13 for Omar Mamouche. If you're ever looking at someone to score at the moment, he would very much be that. And also, I mean, in Europe, third in Europe as well, in the Europa League. This is a team that's fighting on a number of fronts.
Absolutely, tonight we are recording that early in the morning. Tonight they play in the German Cup against Leipzig, and when you see how Leipzig played in the last few weeks, well, you are pretty sure that Eintracht Frankfurt will make it in the next round of the German Cup. So Frankfurt is doing an excellent job, 4 points behind Bayern. They need to win to keep the pressure high on Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And it looks good. They don't have too many injured players. The coach is doing a very, very good job. Topmüller. So, Frankfurt is one of the big surprises of the season. They were good last year, but not as good as this year.
Well, yeah, it'd be hard to be much better than this year, I suppose, wouldn't it, without being top? A quick word on Augsburg, because, they're in the lower reaches of the Bundesliga, but looking through the form lines and reading into some of their performances, I think they've not been good enough for a European place or anything, but I think they've been better than what their position currently is. Is that fair?
Absolutely, you're right. So when I was asked before the season, where do you see Augsburg by the end of this season? I put them between 9 and 12. I said around 10. That's now, I think for me, they are a team which are out of this relegation fighting things. But sometimes they play excellent. They beat Borussia Dortmund. The next week, it's Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde once again. They have two different faces. It's you cannot say what you have last week. They beat Bochum. It was a very bad match. Definitely, it was something you don't want to. My colleagues who commented that match, they really came out of that match, and they really. I was in Dortmund, Bayern against Dortmund. Unbelievable, beautiful, and these poor lads who do in Augsburg against Bochum, they really were. Oh wow, that was a tough one, and it went like everyone predicted. Two teams on a very low level in that match. It was a penalty who decided that, but it decided for Augsburg. They are 5 points clear of spot number 16, which would mean relegation in Germany. That's where Heidenheim is. The good news for Augsburg, Heidenheim will play Munich. So if they would, I would say if they can get a draw out of Frankfurt, it'll be a major point for them. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure nothing will happen in the table because, as I said, Heidenheim will play Bayern Munich. But they should take some more points before Christmas because, it's not easier. Next week they play Leverkusen. A lot of work to do for Jes Torup and his team. Some good players, sometimes very confusing football, but I would say I still give them something that's better than 13 right now.
I've got to say, I love the idea of explaining to a manager that their football is confusing. I think that's a...
Yeah, it is for me. I don't...
Yeah, well, that's fine. And also, to your clients who are doing these Bundesliga games, I'll happily swap any of those Bundesliga games for Harrogate Blackpool in the Football League trophy in England. Anyway, we'll not get into all that. You mentioned Bayern Munich against Heidenheim. I think we probably can say that Bayern Munich will win the game. They lost against Leverkusen in the Cup on Tuesday night. But let's talk very briefly about the Klassiker then, because it was a really fascinating game. And I actually think that Nuri Sahin comes out of it with a huge amount of credit, to be fair. He set up tactically very smartly from the start. He tweaked a couple of things. He didn't give Bayern a chance to do anything, particularly with the ball. Obviously, with Gittins' pace, they can then hit, and they did hit. And then I suppose at the same time, you've got to give credit to Vincent Kompany because he responded really well to what Nuri Sahin was doing as well. So I think, listen, both managers come out of it with a huge amount of credit. A draw is probably fair. You commentated on the game. Did you come out of it with a bit more respect for Dortmund?
Yeah, after this match, more than I had last year or the years before, because last year Bayern Munich was 2-0 up about 5 minutes in the game. This time, Borussia Dortmund from the begin on played with a much stronger chest. They really went out there. They really showed that. Last week I made that joke about the wet pants of Borussia Dortmund. As soon as they see Bayern Munich, that didn't happen this time. Yeah, they really get on the pitch and they were ready to take that match. It was a different approach than I've seen. And that made it very... Bayern Munich was the better team in the beginning. They were more in the match. They were more doing for the offensive game. But finally Borussia Dortmund scored. Bayern Munich lost Harry Kane, which was a big loss. For me, Vincent Kompany made some mistakes from the beginning on. I was very, very much surprised that he brought on the left wing, instead of Kingsley Coman, who played excellent against Paris, that he brought Mathys Tel. Mathys Tel have not played for 5 matches in a row. Yeah. Why? So I think sometimes... Why bring me to
the Klassiker, yeah.
I learned that with Pep Guardiola. Sometimes coaches do crazy things. Why you have to do something very special you've not done in matches before? Why in that match? Pep Guardiola always did that when Bayern Munich played against the Spanish side. That's why they get eliminated from the Champions League 3 times in a row in the semifinal. It was against Barcelona, against Real, and against Atletico. Pep Guardiola always wanted to do something special. And the same for me, this was Vincent Kompany's Pep Guardiola moment. Well, he learned from Guardiola. That's what he always said. Maybe he also learned the crazy things. I didn't understand that. And when Harry Kane had to get out of the match after 33 minutes, why bring Thomas Müller? Sorry, I'm a big Thomas Müller fan, but he's 35. He's 35. For me, he's too slow to play in that matches. For me, the only thing that should have been done in that moment would have been bring Mathys Tel there on the Harry Kane position, on the central striker position in the box, because he's tall. He played that position several times, and bring Kingsley Coman on the left wing. When Vincent Kompany adjusted that in the second half, the match of Bayern Munich got more pressure. They pushed more on Borussia Dortmund. That's when the match changed. And I'm pretty sure if this match would have been gone on for another 10 minutes, the chance for Bayern Munich would have been excellent to score another goal, because the pressure was coming late, but it was going stronger and stronger at the end. At the end, Dortmund only did one thing. They tried to survive. Nuri Sahin every minute yelled to the referee, "Time is over, time is over, time is over." They knew that the things getting closer and closer. But as I said, Dortmund played with a lot of heart. Huge compliment to Dortmund.
Yeah. And it was a solid result for them at home. And I suppose the reason why these managers do these things is because if it works, they look like an absolute genius.
But if not, everybody's... All the smart journalists say Gosh, are you stupid? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, but I think there was some good tactical decisions from Kompany. You know, he widened that back line. That gave them a bit more control wide. He did do a few good things as well. One manager who's not doing good things at the moment is at Leipzig. I mean, we spoke last week saying, well, he'll probably go, Rosa, if they are beaten. And they were not just beaten, they were destroyed by Wolfsburg, 5-1 at the weekend. And then off the back of that, the general consensus from what I've been reading is that he's not actually under immediate sacking pressure. Is that accurate, or am I just reading the wrong sites?
Well, you know, there are two things. There is what is said, and there is what is in the head.
Yeah.
So you can say a lot. It depends how you act. So I'm pretty sure if Marco Rose and Leipzig gets thrashed tonight by Eintracht Frankfurt, and everybody thinks that's possible. If you lose big against Wolfsburg, so what can Frankfurt do to you? There are already names on the table. Just one I recently heard is Erik ten Hag.
Ten Hag, yeah, I read that as well. Yeah.
He speaks German. He knows the Bundesliga. I'm not a Ten Hag fan. Absolutely not. Well, if he wants, if they want to work with him, and if he wants to do that, let's do it. As far as I heard, Jürgen Klopp has to say yes or no because Jürgen Klopp will be the new head of football with Red Bull, with all the Red Bull teams, and so with Leipzig as well. So he has to work with the next coach. Well, I don't know what Jürgen Klopp is thinking about Erik ten Hag. They know each other very well, I'm pretty sure, because they played alongside very close to each other. But I'm pretty sure if Leipzig gets a blast in the cup, we might already see another one against Kiel.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because really, if you're Marco Rose, you want to get to the Kiel game as quickly as possible because that, with all due respect to Holstein Kiel, is a winnable game. And that's what kind of makes...
Well, Wolfsburg would have been a winnable game.
But I suppose the more desperate you get, the more you are kind of... You want to get to Kiel, don't you? You want to sort of say, right, look, this is a big chance against a side who, you know, with all due respect, shouldn't be in the Bundesliga. And yeah, I mean, look, it's a really tough game to call, that one. Part of me just thinks goals, and part of me thinks whatever happens, Kiel have a half chance of a draw there.
Oh, definitely they have. Where they playing at home. They play with a lot of heart, and it is not that Leipzig. These players played so excellent at the beginning of this season, and it's not that they doesn't know any longer how to stop a ball, how to play a long pass, all these things. It's not that you lose all that overnight. It has something to do with your head, with your brain, with your connection in the team, with your connection with the club, with your connection with the manager, and that's a problem. And then they have Aston Villa in their mind because Tuesday it is the match of their last chance. 5 matches, lost 5. Vincent Kompany told us if you wanna continue to stay in the Champions League, you need to win 3. So Leipzig needs to win 3, and the first is Aston Villa, which is not an easy one. So I'm pretty sure that Aston Villa is in your mind when you play at Kiel, who lost the last 3. As you said, good chance for a draw, maybe for a surprise.
Yeah, they host Sporting Lisbon and they're away at Sturm Graz, I think, Leipzig in their last few Champions League games. We will finish with another really interesting looking game. Borussia Mönchengladbach take on Dortmund, who of course we have spoken about their performance in Der Klassiker. At Borussia Park, Mönchengladbach are brilliant at the moment. They are a very tough team to stop. And again, we say this every week at the moment, but Dortmund at home, yes. Dortmund away from home, no. And when you look at the kind of the expectation, the prices, whatever, in this game, it's still weighted toward Dortmund, and the form lines don't back that up.
What I saw last week, I see that Borussia Dortmund is in the last 4 or 5 games coming, understanding better what Nuri Sahin wants. Right. Now they have to show it away. It is. it's I wouldn't say it's easy to show that against Bayern Munich in your own stadium with 80,000 behind you, but in their own stadium they play with a totally different heart, and I don't understand why a team like this is something I never understood about football, why a team like Borussia Dortmund struggles playing away. I don't understand that. These players are so excellent. Jamie Gittens, unbelievable for me. For me, I called him last Saturday. I called him the next 100 million sell for Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of Premier League clubs already start counting the money, what to throw on for the next season. I heard Bayern Munich might think about him. I don't know. He's English. He might go to the Premier League if he gets a big offer. Or to Spain, I don't know.
Certainly the England team, I think, is the other thing as well. I mean, the fact that he's not been included in the squad yet with any great fervour is interesting because he is. I mean, he started the season, that first game of the season, he was unplayable. And then he's had a really, really good run since, hasn't he? He's been amazing getting so far.
Oh, he's fast. He's so fast. He was 35 kilometers when he played that counter attack on the left side. Leimer looked like me running behind my son. Yeah, not even coming close to him. It was unbelievable. With the ball on his feet, he was, and now such an excellent player. Come on, he cannot be afraid of the crowd at Mönchengladbach. I expect Dortmund really to show that they took a lot of self-confidence out of that match against Bayern Munich because they deserved that draw, and now they deserved to show it on an away pitch. But next Wednesday, it's the second biggest match for Borussia Dortmund of the season. Bayern Munich was the one, and now it's against Barcelona. How much Barcelona is in your head when you play in Mönchengladbach? That's a very important question.
And that's part of what Nuri Sahin's going to have to deal with. I think Gladbach have a very, very good chance in that game. I really, really do at Borussia Park. We will see.
Well, you are Gladbach fan once again.
Yeah, but just generally, even if you take out my little bias, it's I think a team in with a very good chance when you look at the form lines. Tawfik, thank you very much as always, my friend. We will speak to you again ahead of the next round of Bundesliga fixtures. Last couple of weeks before a nice big winter break for Tawfik as well. So we will speak to him very soon. Thank you as always. And again, don't forget to look out for all the videos on the Clubhouse TV YouTube channel. There is tons of them.